Good morning, children. Welcome back to the social session. Children, in the previous class, we were trying to understand about the industrial revolution, and we have seen one of the most important invention that has transformed the production process. That was James Watt steam engine. So steam engine is invented by James Watt along with another industrialist called as Boulton. He started producing steam engines that is suited for different production purposes. So today we learn about the experience of a 19th century child laborer, child worker, how hard and how laborious they worked in a mine. So their condition we will try to understand with today's example. So it was in 19th century the industrial workers of Europe had to face several hardships. Not one, there were several hardships in their living, in their eating, okay, in their working. The working conditions were also very bad. So several hardships they have to face, the workers of the Europe. And they have migrated from the villages in search of the job, and for the meager bread they used to work. So let us read about the experience of a child employed in an English coal mine in England. So how this child works here, let us see. So here the child has been working in these mines since he was 4 years old. Can you imagine, children? 4 years old, the child will go to the school here. So such a 4 years child, since he was 4, he was working in the mine, and workers hew coal and pickaxes and fill the large wagons. You know pickaxes जो लोड करने के लिए यूज करते हैं, कोल लोड करने के लिए, लोड करना बोले तो वैगन में डालने के लिए यूज करते हैं, वो पिकैक्सेस के साथ कोल वैगन को भरते हैं. वैगन विल बी लोडेड विद दिस कोल, एंड द जॉब ऑफ दिस चाइल्ड इज टू पुश दिस लोडेड वैगन्स. लोड हुए सो वैगन कितना वेट रहती वो, हाउ मच वेट इट विल बी. सो दोज वैगन्स शुड बी पुश्ड टू ए पॉइंट, एक पॉइंट तक लेके जाना. किधर तक? वो पॉइंट कौन सा है, उधर से हॉर्सेस पुल करते हुए लेके जाते, म्यूल्स और हॉर्सेस जो है वो लेके जाते, मगर वो पॉइंट तक ये लेके जाना, इसको उसको पुश करते हुए लेके जाना. एंड हॉलिंग पुशिंग दिस लोडेड वैगन्स through a water and slush, because mines were completely dirt and it was not clean like today we have the tracks inside them in order to take everything by the machines. But those days it was completely, water was there, slush was there, and walking over steep slopes and leaves us very tired. Pushing, hauling those wagons is not that easy job, and they have to work in this way continuously for more than 12 hours. 12 घंटा काम करना वो वैगन्स पुश करते हुए. वो भी बच्चा 5 साल 8 साल का बच्चा है वो. ही इज जस्ट 7 years 8 years old child. And why only these children are put in that places, you know? Those mines are so small that only these age people can go into it. So that's the reason only small people, okay, only children were allowed to get into it. And machines were also prepared in such a way only though their fingers gets fixed into those machines in order to switch on and switch off. So this was the condition. By the time they return home, you know, they get very tired and they don't eat, they don't even feel like eating the food. And this child's mother searched him and carried him home. He fell asleep on the way only. He was so tired that he fell on the road only and he slept. And several movements were started to enforce a ban on employing children in the factories and in the mines in such pathetic conditions. So in response to these movements only, child labor is completely banned. Even today also in India we ban the child labor. Child labor below 14 years of children should not be employed in any kind of job. If you employ, the employer will be sent to the jail. So the Child Labor Act has come. So it was because of the several movements that have taken place in the England that started, and child labor was completely banned now. And it is a thing of the past in most of the European countries, and today no child goes to the work in the European countries. And inside the early factories, when you look into, major changes have swept the industries with the coming of new machines. Machines could be worked on by even unskilled persons also. You don't require a skilled person to make the textile happen or to weave the cloth, because earlier to work on the handlooms you need a skilled person. But when the machines have replaced, you don't require any skilled person to work on the machines. Even an unskilled person also can learn and can work on the machine. So thus skilled artisans are were no longer required, and in their place a large number of women, a large number of children were employed, and they were made very meager wages, and the industrialists used to earn huge profits. Machines cost a lot of money for them, and ordinary artisans could not afford them because it costs them very heavily, and ordinary artisans don't have such huge money. Only wealthy merchants could set up the factories, and mechanized factories they can set up where machines can be run. And this is what the workers had to say about their plight during this condition. The workers' condition, let us see. Every day they come to work at 6 a.m. and work till 8:30 p.m. They come at 6 o'clock morning, they come to the work, and they leave by 8:30 at night. And there will be a lunch break for an hour. एक घंटा तो lunch break था. By the end of the day, they get so tired to work, but the factory owner uses whips, hunter मारने के लिए. Okay, if you try to rely for the rest, they used to goad with the whips and make us keeping working. These days new machines are being introduced constantly, since they can do the work of several artisans or several workers at the same time. Only few workers are required now. So mechanization has helped the factories to produce more fastly with less number of workers. So every time a new machine is introduced, many of the workers are thrown onto the street because they become unemployed when a new machine is introduced. Most of these workers don't have any other option. So they had been expelled from their lands. They migrated to the towns in search of jobs. Now new machines have thrown them back onto the street. So if they were small craftsmen, their shops had closed down because they could not compete with the products produced by the machines. Gradually, workers of the factories and mines formed their own organizations to fight against the conditions of the work. This is how the trade unions, have you listened about this? ट्रेड यूनियन, ये सभी वर्कर्स क्या करें, एक यूनियन के जैसा फॉर्म हुआ. वाई? इन ऑर्डर टू फाइट फॉर द वर्क कंडीशंस, बेटर वर्क कंडीशंस करने के लिए दे स्टार्टेड फाइंडिंग इनटू द फॉर्मिंग इनटू ए ट्रेड यूनियन, and they started fighting against the ill treatment of these workers in the factories. That is the reason why May 1st is observed as a workers' day. You know that? May 1st. Every year May 1st is considered as a workers' day. So International Labour Organization also has recognized the formation of the trade unions. So in the beginning they had demanded 8 to 10 hours of working day, higher wages, and disallowing the children of below 14 years of age from being employed in the mines and factories. Over time the struggles and their conditions got improved, and today you know the trade unions conditions on the employees. Okay, they fight for security, the job security, and without any reason you cannot remove an employee. On the behest of the owners, you cannot remove the worker. There should be a stipulated procedure to be followed in order to remove a permanent worker, and they are given better wages today. Children are not employed into the factories today, and only 8 hours of work will be there, and in these 8 hours also there will be a break. And these all kind of facilities are being given to the factory workers because of the trade unions agitation, trade unions movement. So these factories too have changed by now. Almost all the work has become automated with machines directly by computers. They require very few people only, and little manual work to run them are required. So in order to run the machines you require the source of energy. Without the energy these machines cannot run, either by the electricity or by some other power. It has to work. So you have seen that the energy needed to run these machines was a steam engine. It was a steam energy which was used to run the machines. Now energy is available in the form of coal, in the form of electricity, in the form of burning petroleum, and so on. So initially industries dependent upon the energy from coal and steam. Subsequently they started using several other sources of energy also. like thermal energy, hydroelectricity that is produced by water, petroleum, natural gas, and even nuclear energy by the uranium and plutonium, the nuclear energy, and slowly transforming to use even the solar energy. So what revolution has come in the transport sector because of these alternative sources of energy, we will see in the next class, children. Until then, thank you.